Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another one of my videos today. So first of all, new intro. Oh my god, what do you think? To celebrate 40,000 subscribers here on my YouTube channel, I was like, do you know what? It's time to have a new YouTube intro. So I had one made. I absolutely love it. So I hope you guys love it as well as the new intro music. Secondly, I haven't just got my hair dramatically blowing on purpose. It is 28 degrees here in the UK, which to most people around the world won't be hot, but here in the UK it's basically like not coping situation. So I have to have the fan on to keep this makeup on and retain some dignity here on YouTube. So if I look like I'm glowing, it's all sweat, I promise you. So I'm sorry if you can hear the fan, and I'm sorry if my hair blowing is distracting. But unfortunately today, here in 29 degrees heat, I think it even reached 30 actually, it's just not a vibe where you want to be fanless, put it that way. I've moved it a little bit that way, so hopefully it won't be as distracting now. But anyway, on to more important things. You guys are here for my 4th out of my 5 video playlist here on YouTube of my Law of Attraction's Basics series. I have also got the windows open as well, so I'm sorry if you can hear the builders as well. This is going fantastic already. So my 5 steps to the Law of Attraction process I have been covering in my Basics series. This is the 4th video, so if you're new to this, make sure to go and watch the other 3 first, and this step and video will make a ton more sense once you've watched it. But if you want to watch this one first and go back, then obviously please feel free to. And obviously we've got 1 video left. Next step, the 5th step, to come next month, so keep your eyes peeled for that. So the reason why I've done my 5-step Law of Attraction Basics videos is because I feel there are more than 3 steps. Having gone along my Law of Attraction journey for over the last 6 years, qualifying as a life coach and mentor, teaching people Law of Attraction over the last 4 years, teaching myself Law of Attraction over the last 6 years, manifesting amazing things in my life, from relationships to houses to book deals to money to puppies to holidays to everything you can think of. I discovered very quickly that there was more than 3 steps, and why people were hitting block after block after block, resistance after resistance after resistance, and maybe even giving up altogether because it felt frustrating that their desires weren't happening. So I cover all of this in my book Positively Wealthy, which is an award-winning book. It is available on Amazon and any bookstore worldwide distribution. You can get it anywhere in Kindle, audiobook and paperback, and I cover the 5 steps in here. It's also a 33-day guide full of practical tools and tips to help you manifest sustainable wealth and abundance in all areas of your life. So there's actually a 33-day challenge in here to help you manifest your dreams over the 33 days. So all of what I talk about is in the book, obviously in way more depth, but I want to share with you today the 4th step, which is letting go and surrendering. So the 4th step is letting go, but I like to add letting go and surrendering to that. So what is letting go and surrendering? It's definitely something that is not spoken about enough in the Law of Attraction sphere. Every time I say this on a podcast, people are like, yep, preach it. And it's so peculiar, isn't it? How actually I would say this is probably the most important step out of the 5. I would say like this alone is actually probably the one video and step I would say, please take note of, please apply, and please work with out of all 5 to create manifesting success. But actually it's not spoken about enough. So once we've gone through ask, once we've gone through believe, once we've gone through trust, our 3rd step, it's time to move into the 4th step, letting go. Now, what does letting go and surrendering mean? A lot of the time people say to me, Emma, you're just telling me to give up. And I'm like, no, it's not giving up. But actually sometimes giving up can be useful. I'm going to get to that later. But what letting go and surrendering really means is letting go of your attachment to your desire. So it's looking at your attachment, your need, your want, maybe even desperation at that point. So it's looking at your vibrational energy towards that desire once you've moved through the trust stage. The trust stage is important, it can't be missed. So like I said, go back and watch the previous videos if you want to learn how those steps work to be able to move into this step authentically. And as I said before in my believe video, you can move between the steps quite frequently. You don't just necessarily go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. You can go 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, and then finally move through to 5. So there is no right or wrong. You know, obviously the steps are there, but how you progress through them is your own inner work and your own journey. So what can happen when you move into the letting go and surrendering stage is you notice that maybe there's some inner work still there because of the attachment, because of the resistance, because of maybe the need or desperation towards that desire. You soon realize that actually maybe you're still in the belief step and you've got some limiting beliefs and fears to work through first, to move through 3 with ease, to move back into 4 authentically and be able to naturally let go and surrender. Now, letting go and surrendering must be done naturally. It is probably one of the most naturalist steps, which actually makes it probably one of the hardest, because to authentically and naturally move into a state of surrender and letting go can be harder. It's not as easy as it sounds when, you know, step 1, step 2, step 3, it's all about setting the desire, taking action, believing. So you're almost like, you know, attaching to it. You're almost being like, I'm investing my time and my energy in this. So then to literally be like, right now I have to let go, almost seems counterintuitive. It also, you know, it seems like, what the heck? Why would I do this after all the work I've put into my desires and into my, you know, my plan, my dream life? So I completely understand. And I think letting go and surrendering is probably the hardest step I've had to master in my law of attraction journey. It has definitely been and it still is sometimes, a work in progress. So don't feel that, and I don't think anybody ever has it officially nailed. I feel like letting go and surrendering is a lifelong lesson for all of us as souls, all of us as human beings to master and to come to terms with, but that takes time and it's different for each manifestation, right? So yes, it's letting go of your attachment. Yes, it's letting go and surrendering, but how you do that, there is a step process for that. But essentially it's not giving up, it's saying, I give up my attachment, I give up my resistance, I give up my control. I give up my control. Sit with that one. And you know, for Virgos, fellow Virgos out there, control can be a hard thing, letting go of control. But also it can be, you know, like when we've put so much energy into things, we have a vision of how we would like it to happen. We have a vision of what we see, what we'd like, etc. And that's normal, that's natural, right? And I think a lot of law of attraction techniques really focus on visualizing and putting so much energy towards things, when actually sometimes doing that can actually have the reverse effect. Because if you're putting in, you know, want, need, desperation, I need this, I must have this, and you're obsessing about it every single day, you can see the kind of catalyst of energy that is created. It is not a flowing, free, enjoyable energy. It's a very restrictive, tight, controlling, I must have this energy. So sometimes, and I say this a lot, less is more with manifesting. Sometimes, and I invite you to look at your own manifestations as well, like what's happened in your life. Sometimes the less you do, the more you manifest. And people say to me, like, how is this even possible? Like, how does that happen? And I said, because, you know, like people get so fixated on their desires that they throw everything in. They do everything and anything. But actually, you know, you think about it, if you're just throwing everything into a container, there's no space. And really, for that manifestation to come into your life, you have to create the space. So if you're creating the space in your life, you create the capacity and expansion for that energy and desire to come in. But if you're filling it with energy, focus, intention, energy, where the heck is the space for the desire to actually come in? So let's flip that onto our 50-50 co-creation process. If you're going and going, you're going at 90%, meaning again, there's no space for the universe to meet you at 50%. It's only got 10%. So bring yourself back to the 50%. Bring yourself back to your halfway mark. Creating the space is another vital part of the letting go process. So a great first step to really focus on, to naturally move into that space of surrender and letting go, because again, you can't fake it till you make it. The universe knows your vibes. So to be truly, truly surrendered and let go, I'm sharing my tips with you of how I feel and how works best for me, an ex-control freak. So, you know, creating the space is the first step of actively and consciously, spiritually, energetically, physically creating the space. So emotionally creating the space within yourself, spiritually creating the space, physically creating the space in your life, in your schedule, in your home, in whatever the circumstance is, you know, whatever you're trying to manifest. create the space for it in your life. You know, if there's no room for it, and I always find, and I always say to people, whenever I have a good sort out of my house, and you've probably heard me talk about this before on my channel, whenever I clear out my house, have a good sort out, clear out old energy, as soon as I do, new energy comes in, whether it's manifestations, whether it's money, whatever it is. Abundance always comes when I have a good clear out of my house. So that's even like declutter, because, you know, it's decluttering of the mind, decluttering of the home, of the space, and, you know, a lot of the time our home does reflect our mental space as well, right? Like, I know when my house is messy, I feel like stressed. That could just be my Virgo OCD-ness, but I do feel stressed, and I feel that, like, I'm like, oh, like my head feels a mess because my house is a mess. So treat your, you know, your home, your work environment as your mind as well. Like, it reflects it, and you need to make sure your mind, your body, your home, your work is feeling spacious and expansiveness, not restricted, and there's no space, it's already jam-packed. Because if you've got that jam-packed energy, where is the room for that desire to come in? There isn't any. So create the space. Now onto how we truly let go and surrender. So it's looking at your attachment. So if I was to say to you that your desire is not going to happen, how does that make you feel? And I spoke about this earlier on in the belief stage, and I also spoke about when we manifest saying this or something better for the highest good of all. So true surrendering and letting go is actually becoming okay with both outcomes. It's becoming okay with plan A and plan B. It's becoming okay with knowing that the universe has your back and is delivering whatever is for your highest good, because we want what's for our highest good. We don't want what's not meant for us. Because I've had this before where I've had opportunities come in and like, oh my god, this is it, this is what I've wanted, and actually it's been horrible, and it's been such a lesson because and it hasn't worked out anyway. And it's just been one of those things where I'm like, actually, if I'd have had that awareness, and obviously I believe we have to go through things, sort of contracts, karma, you know, I believe we have to go through things to learn what we don't want, abso-freaking-lutely. But again, sometimes, you know, even if it was publishers or if it was business opportunities, you know, I could have saved myself a lot of hassle and grief and upset in myself had I have been like, does this actually feel in alignment to me? So always saying this or something better for the highest good of all is so important to make sure that you are manifesting what is for your highest good. And a lot of people say to me, you know, I don't want to be okay with plan B, especially when there's like health, illness, or even fatality, death involved. And I understand that fully, because nobody wants to think, well, actually, like, I'm not okay if this doesn't happen because it could result in somebody passing away, or, you know, like a really tragic event, because obviously that isn't always something which we want to be okay with. I fully understand that, but that's where the trust comes in. That's where the trust in the universe is always supporting you comes in. But if we look at other manifestations which don't have that as an outcome, you know, say for instance, if you were wanting a job and you'd really gone for a job, you're in the application process, you're like, this is my dream job, this is what I want, am I going to get this job? It's becoming okay with both outcomes of, I get the job or I don't get the job, and I get an even better job. So I had a client who was so desperate to get a job that she wanted. She went for the interview, she aced it, and we were like, you've got this. Anyway, she didn't get the interview, she didn't get the job, sorry. And she was like, I don't understand what happened, Emma. I don't understand what I did wrong. So we did some more work, we got her back out there applying for jobs, and actually an even better job with an even bigger music label came up, and she was like, actually, Emma, this is my dream job. And she was like, I didn't even think this was possible. She was like, I thought this was a 5-10 year job opportunity, not something that I could even be applying for here and now. So she applied for it and she got the freaking job. It was at a lower entry, but she was able to move up, and the people knew that she wanted to move up to that position. So she then was already in the company on the payroll to be able to, you know, learn all about the company, get involved, get experience to be able to progress to that role in further years. So you can see like a perfect example there of somebody, and I've had numerous examples like that in my own life, where we get so knocked down and upset that we didn't get what we thought we wanted, and we thought that was in alignment, and we thought that was the be all and end all. And actually, if we just had that little bit of hindsight, if we were just able to open up our awareness a little bit more, we soon see why rejection is divine redirection. So trust in divine redirection, trust in the timing of your life. It is never wrong, and the universe has our back. So letting go, you know, exactly like my client did, was really accepting that actually maybe something better is meant for me. Maybe there is a different way to do this. Maybe I do need extra time, and actually that opportunity is going to come later down the line. You know, there are so many different reasons and whys that we don't even have the capacity to comprehend, but the universe does. The universe knows what is best for us. So, you know, just like with my client, the universe was like, no hun, you don't need that other job. You are ready for the job you want. So it was her something better. Right there was her something better. So true letting go and surrendering is becoming okay with both outcomes. And also, what is your plan B? So if your manifestation doesn't happen, and again, say if you wanted to manifest money in a certain time frame, what is your plan B? What are you going to do if that money doesn't manifest in that time frame? When we can have awareness and find acceptance, the key word here, acceptance of the situation, of our present moment, of plan A and plan B, you instantly let go and surrender. You relieve yourself of so much invisible pressure you've been holding on yourself because you have acceptance. And when we have acceptance, we have appreciation. So this is the perfect time to really get present. So letting go is really about coming back into the present moment. It's really about having that acceptance and awareness and that gratitude for the present moment. So when you're feeling present, you're able to express gratitude. You'll be able to feel gratitude. And when you feel gratitude, you express joy, you express contentment, you express happy feelings. So really, as we step into the fourth step, it's really about taking that step back and actually saying, how can I be present? How can I experience joy, appreciation, and fun here in this present moment? And again, this is a great step to start acting as if. So acting as if is the notion of embodying the version of yourself who has that desire. So think about the version of yourself who has your desire. How are they acting? What are they wearing? What are they doing? How are they feeling? They're probably going to feel calm, happy, and content. So how can you embody those emotions here and now? So really, it's a reminder to stay present. And the best way to let go and surrender is the present moment. And I have tried so many things over the years. I have tried tapping, EFT, and of course these things absolutely do help and give short-term relief, but I feel the most important thing I have done is have acceptance, appreciation, and be here in the present moment. It has transformed so much in my life. And remember, needing nothing attracts everything. So your desire will always be delivered to you when you need it the least. So when do you need it the least? Is when you're content, when you're happy, and when you're appreciative of where you are now, and you think, actually, yeah, it would be great if that did happen, but actually, if it didn't, I trust. If it didn't, I know that I have so much in my life now that is amazing and brings me contentment and happiness that I don't need it. So when you can get to that place, that is true surrender and letting go. That is how you authentically and naturally align into that. It's present moment, joy, appreciation for the now. And creating the space, like I said, acting as if and creating the space is also fantastic ways to practically take action in this fourth letting go and surrendering stage. So I hope this has all made sense so far. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comments below. I'm always happy to answer anything. And of course, please make sure to go and watch the previous 3 videos of the series for all of this process to make sense. And also don't forget, my 5th and final video of this series will be coming out next month, where we talk about the 5th step, which is still really important. So make sure to keep your eyes peeled for that. And of course, if this has resonated or you want to dive into this more, then of course you can check out my book Positively Wealthy. Like I said, it's out now, available worldwide, ebook, audiobook, and paperback, to take it even further in practical, actionable, cognitive coaching steps to help you manifest through these 5 steps. So thank you so much, guys, for watching my video. I appreciate all your views and likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, because I would love to see you again soon. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comments box down below, because I reply to them all. And don't forget, you can join my free Law of Attraction support group over on Facebook, where you can join myself and other like-minded souls, where we talk all things Law of Attraction and spirituality. The link for that is down below with everything else. So I hope you have a fantastic week, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you all in my next video, which will be next week. Lots of love, guys.